What's up, guys? I'm going to be explaining how anti-cheats work and how cheaters bypass them to make stuff like this. To first understand how cheats work, you have to understand the difference between user mode and kernel mode. So I'll put a picture on the screen. So think of your computer as a hierarchy, and the rings going towards the middle is more permission. So on the very outside is user mode, and on the very inside is kernel mode. And each ring down, it gets more powers on your computer. So at the very middle is full administrator powers, also known as the kernel. So when you try to read process memory from a game, read or write, so this is my cheat here. Let's say I try to go over here and read some memory from CS, and then I have it sent back to me, right? The anti-cheat, which is in the kernel, can see all this activity right here, and that's how you get detected, and that's how most cheats get banned. Instead of reading and writing straight from CS2 from your user mode cheat, you send information and instructions to your driver, which is also in the kernel, and that reads the game memory. And because you're also in the kernel, the anti-cheat cannot detect this. Now, of course, there's different ways of detection, but this is the most broad way to put it of how anti-cheat bypasses work with kernel anti-cheats. So the most common types of kernel anti-cheats is BattleEye, EAC, Vanguard, things like that. So CS2 is not a kernel anti-cheat. It's not VAC is not a kernel anti-cheat. It's a user mode anti-cheat. So it has just as much permission as any other thing on your. It has as much permission as the game does on your computer. You know, it can't go through all your files. It can check within its own files of the game, but it cannot go outside of it like the kernel's anti-cheats can. That's why VAC is a lot easier to get around. So you can do things like handle hijacking or anything you want to bypass VAC because you just have to get around their user mode anti-cheat. It's a lot simpler. So for my cheat, I have a kernel driver, so I never have to worry about this anti-cheat, which isn't even going to be in the kernel. It's out here trying to read this. It's never going to happen. Unless I get manually banned, this CS2 cheat will never get detected. And so that is how cheaters can make aimbots and ESPs like this without getting detected.